XRP had another ETF go live today. Crypto Twitter is an absolute meltdown, temper tantrum phase of this cycle. And Bitcoin, is it about to crash or rip to the upside? Talk about all that in this video, but first, please like and subscribe, share this far and wide. If you're new to the channel, welcome. With everything going on today, man, crypto is nothing but red. Um, But if you go back and look at any of my prior videos, I said this could happen. I didn't say it was going to. I said this could happen. Um, when it comes to XRP, we're still in good shape. As long as we don't drop down below that 192 zone, drop down below there, and then confirm. And yeah, everything's looking good. I think this is a great buying opportunity. I'm still sitting on my hands and waiting to see some strength. There's just a lot going on in the world with politics and liquidity. You got Jerome Powell at the Fed. It seems like they're playing games. They don't want to help Trump or whatever it is. I don't know if it's political or not. Who cares? But liquidity is coming. It's just a matter of when. So is it going to take a new Fed chair to get in there and be dovish and not try and spook the markets for this thing to really rip? That could happen. So in worst case scenario, we got 7 months of probably sideways action. So you got 7 months of accumulation. If you really want to look at it, you got to look at crypto in the long term here. Um, this ain't a retail pump and dump 4-year market anymore, which we can go over that 4-year cycle theory thing in a little bit here. But um, XRP had another ETF go live today with Bitwise. The CEO has been going around doing a lot of interviews and promoting it. Um, he said the main reason for all of the interest in any XRP ETF, period, from Wall Street is the $250 trillion cross-border payments market that they are going after. So anybody telling you that's speculation, that XRP will not be used for cross-border payments or any kind of upgrade to the banking system or the financial rails, they're just flat out lying to you. Because why would Wall Street, why would the CEO of Bitwise say that if it ain't true? And anybody who can do a little bit of research or knows how to use AI to check anything, this stuff's all there. Yeah, we're still in the speculative phase, but you can see who's shaking hands with who and who's making deals. And XRP is going to be used for cross-border payments. Whether it's the XRP is the liquidity for the Swift payment system, and then same messaging for just for cross-border payments. There's too much going on there. So with that being said, ISO 20022, which is the new banking messaging system that they're using, they've had it in the works for a while and testing. Well, November 22nd, which would be Friday, I believe, it's fully active, which it's already been active, but the old system used to be able to work side by side with it. Well, now the old system, the default system, is being terminated, and you have to be ISO 20022 compliant and using it, basically. So, and if you go on the website or just use ChatGPT, Grok AI, whatever, there's a couple coins that are compliant with ISO standards. XRP is the top one. XLM, Cardano, there's a few of them, HBAR. So if XRP is the top coin or project that's compliant with that, and they're phasing out the old system and basically making it so you have to be on this one, I mean, I feel like that's a no-brainer on what to invest in. That's just not financial advice. That's just my opinion. This is the way I look at it. Um, moving on from that, I saw somebody make a post, and it's 100% accurate because I went and looked at the chart shortly after. Bitcoin has hit all-time highs a couple times during this bull run, obviously, but the three times that it has, the first time it consolidated downward for 145 days before it moved up again. It moved the second time, it hit an all-time high. It consolidated for 77 days. That was the pullback before it hit another all-time high. Right now, we're currently sitting at 44 days. So we're at the bottom of that megaphone pattern. So are we about to move up, or are we about to drop off the map? First time 145 days, second time 77 days. We're at 44 days right now. So the pullbacks are getting shorter and shorter. And every time that happens, it explodes to the upside much faster. So whatever it takes to lose that, say it's 30%. That's exactly what the numbers were. It's a 30% pullback. So that 30% pullback, you gain that and then some in, I don't know, a tenth of the time. It don't take long. So if that trend continues, that's going to really energize the markets, because I'm not saying everything is centered around Bitcoin, because it's not, and I'm going to go over that here in a second. Bitcoin is the granddaddy of them all in this market. And until I see the trends bucked or things really change, we just got to kind of stick with that, because anytime you're looking at charts or data, you go with what you know, obviously, and what you see. You don't guess or say this is what's going to happen, or I'm wrong. So looking at that, Bitcoin is at max fear for the third or fourth day in a row. We haven't been in extreme fear for that many days in a row, I don't think, ever. Maybe at the FTX crash, but max fear does not happen at the top of a market. It happens at the bottom before you're about to go up. So I know I've said that 10 times in my previous videos, but I truly do believe that this is not the end. Maybe Bitcoin does go into a bear market, but with everything being built around these ETFs and liquidity shifting, and even the CEO, Stephen McClurg from Canary Capital, he did a interview with Paul Barron, and it was released this morning. I listened to the whole thing, and he said that he used to be Bitcoin only 5 years ago and never would have looked at XRP, Ripple, anything. And he said, I'm in this business to make money. I'm not a maxi of anything. But he said what XRP is doing, you can't ignore what they're doing. He said there's a lot of money to be made there. And he said he sees a lot of people like him who were Bitcoin only before. Now all of a sudden they're saying Ripple, XRP, and they're either already investing in it, moving their money into it, or at least talking about it. So, and I even saw Gary Cardone, who he's a Bitcoin maxi for sure. He tweeted the other day about Ripple's accomplishment and how he wanted to be an early investor. I think it was whenever they got a $500 million investment at the Ripple swell from somebody at a $40 billion valuation. So the narrative is changing. It is. You just got to pay attention. So with all that being said, Stephen McClurg also said that the Bitcoin OGs, like the people that bought back in 2011, 12, they got a couple thousand Bitcoin. They've been holding on to it forever. He said he's seeing them sell right now some of their Bitcoin and rotate into these altcoins that are getting ETFs like XRP and Solana and HBAR. So we could see the altcoins go nuts here without Bitcoin really doing it. Bitcoin could drop and the altcoins could go. Certain ones. I'm not saying it's going to be a full-blown alt season, but certain ones, like the ones I mentioned, they could make a move. It's just going to take liquidity. That's the biggest thing. This market is waiting on what's the Fed going to do? Where's the money coming from? You see Trump's trying to do all he can, saying $2,000 tariff dividend or stimulus check. Listen, that guy, whether you like him or not, ran as the pro-crypto president, okay? He has not only a meme coin, but he has a crypto company, World Liberty Financial. He's got David Sachs, who is the crypto and AI czar. I'm pretty sure it's a brand new position. This guy is not going to let this market just go into dust. He's not going to let it happen. He's trying to do everything he can, and this is my conspiracy theory. Jerome Powell, the Fed, the deep state, whoever is, they don't want that to happen. They want the crypto voters to be so upset and irritated with Trump that this is the first market, we didn't make any money, and then boom, midterms roll around. They don't want to vote for who Trump says to vote for again. That's just my conspiracy theory. Makes sense, though, if you really think about it. So with that being said, we got max fear 4 days in a row. Markets don't end in max fear. You got, here's another one saying that we could be gearing up for alt season very soon. BlackRock just filed for a new staked ETH trust in Delaware. So now, instead of just buying Ethereum in an ETF, you can stake it and earn yield on it. So then that's just going to get more long-term buyers. Buy and hold. That's going to be huge for Ethereum. And everyone knows Ethereum is the largest altcoin. It's the number 2 coin in crypto, just behind Bitcoin. Wall Street seems to love it. Tom Lee's out there pumping it. BlackRock is having no issue promoting it, and now they love it so much they're filing for a staked Ethereum so they can earn yield on it. That's huge. Here's another reason why crypto is only going up. Yeah, we might go down in the short term, but within the next 4 years, you're gonna see stupid gains off of good projects. You had Circle go public. That thing, when it released, was, I don't even know what it was worth, but I know people made a lot of money off that, whether it's 4, 5, 6x, whatever. Coinbase sued by the SEC after they went public, kind of manipulated the price down, and recently that thing's worth hundreds of dollars per share. So, and now Kraken, the exchange, they filed to go public, become a public company. So, and I think they said they made like 1.5 billion last year is what they made, I think is what they said. I'll have to double check that, but these are companies that are coming in to disrupt the system, and massive amounts of money are being invested into them. They're not being poo-pooed away anymore. They're being accepted and they're being embraced, and people are throwing their money at them. So crypto is not dead. Anybody on Twitter or YouTube saying that we're in a full-blown bear market, you're going to lose all your money. We might be in a mini bear market. I really don't know. No one does. It's the only people who know are the market makers. So yeah, you might go through some short-term pain here in the next couple months, but if you just hold and have a long-term outlook, you zoom out and see where this is going, especially on the charts, we're good. Do not get driven out of this market. Do not eat up the FUD, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Just know that the louder everyone is screaming it's over, trust me, behind the scenes, it's getting ready to go. 100%. And Raoul Paul, I wanted to talk about this before I end this video. Raoul Paul, Powell, however you say his last name. I see this dude all over the place. You can't open X or YouTube without seeing his face. This guy just gave a speech, wherever it was. I don't know. He gave a speech somewhere in front of all these major crypto players and said the 4-year cycle theory is dead. It was never a thing. It was just something that sounded good around the 4-year halving cycle. But really, the crypto cycle has always been around the global liquidity and the debt cycle. Well, in 2021, I believe, or 2022, they extended us refinancing our debt from 4 years to 5. So if you think about it, every 4 years we refinance the debt up until that point. And the 4-year cycle for crypto had already kind of been over. So now they've extended it to 5 years. So next year, 2026 is going to be when we're going to refinance the debt. It's also going to be the year that Trump gets his Fed guy in there. So this market has definitely changed. So it takes, at least this is what I heard and what I've read, it takes at least 3 times for something to be confirmed. Well, we've only had 2 alt seasons so far because Bitcoin was the OG in 09, and we didn't have altcoins come onto the scene really until, I mean, you had XRP come out in 2012, but no one really knew what any of that stuff was. So you had your first alt season in 17, 18, your second alt season in 21, 22. So now it looks like if we're going to have an alt season, it's going to be around the debt refinancing liquidity cycle that comes due next year. So I would just say this. Don't listen to anybody saying that your project or this or that's dead, Bitcoin's going to zero, everything's going to crash. When fear, uncertainty, and doubt is at its highest, that's when you need to really be looking at, okay, everything is on sale. Maybe this is the time to buy. Or just, if you've been in this market for a while, just hold. That's all you got to do. This is going to be life changing, in my opinion. Not financial advice, in my opinion. So that's all I got for today, guys. Just quick update. Like and subscribe. Please share this far and wide. Comment down in the comment section below. Let me know if there's anything specifically you want me to cover. All about it. We don't need to talk about XRP all the time. I just know that I have a lot of friends and a couple buddies who follow this that XRP is all the talk. So that's why I talk about that. If there's anything else out there you want covered, I have no problem covering it, whether I hold it or not. And I'll be fully transparent with that. So that's all I got today, guys. God bless. See you in the next one.